There we go.
Yep, got you.
Yeah.
Right, we're just about to see the lights go red here, folks. Do apologise, we had a few issues in the chat. Obviously, I haven't commed on PlayStation 4 in a while. The settings aren't quite right. We're just about to see the lights go red here. Just first light, second light, third light, fourth light, the fifth light! And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go! Tall Peace gets away well, so does Noble, he gets away really well, in fact, the Renault leads the way, going into turn 1, here comes the Ferrari of Owen all there in P3, FTH Chaos Team goes behind them, you can see the Mercedes challenging again, going in tandem with the Renault, Tall Peace challenging back for that P1 spot, and he pretty much has the lead here going round, this next left-hander, but still they're in tandem, as they come round towards the next bend, the Renault snaps it up there, can he challenge around the next left-hand bend again? Yes, he can, but it's still together. You can't separate them, but Noble gets the upper hand. The Ferrari of Owen All challenging as well. What a battle at the very start there, guys.
That's great racing at the start there. Aylan's picked up a few positions, being the only guy in hard. 19th to just gone to 15th position, as it looks like Mars Attacking has lost it somewhere in the track. Yeah, he's lost it, rejoining now at the back of the grid. Gods is off the back of the pace, so something's happened to him too early on, but what a start from Noble and Total Peace. Great rattling.
Certainly is. We're just looking now. MWR Noble still leading the way. Total Peace in P2. Owen All in P3 as well. Just under 0.3 of a second. Obviously, battles are still yet to come here, folks. We're only in lap 1 of 28, but already we're seeing some clusters forming around to the front. Here comes Total Peace, making a move on Julian here in lap 1 as they come down the stretch now. The Silver Arrows punching himself into P1 of 20, well, 1 of 19 here in this race, but still the Renault challenges. Noble holds on. P1 for the French team still, and Noble leading the charge.
One problem, fatality, lost it coming out of the out of that long right-hander to go onto that long back straight, and he lost the back end coming out of that corner into the wall. He's lost his front wing, so he's having an early pit stop now. That doesn't help his race at all right now.
Yeah, we have a little issue with the telemetry here, folks. Obviously, do bear with us. Obviously, he's still trying to sort himself out. It's saying that Noble, who's currently leading the race, is in P9. Obviously, we got a VSC, which has obviously upset the balance of the grid order. We're only in lap 3. Well, it says lap 3 of 28 here. Obviously, it still needs to sort itself out, so do be patient with us. We now see Owen All, obviously there. We're riding on board with him. He's challenging Total Peace still in the grid order. We're back underway here, and as we're beginning to sort ourselves out, still Noble leading the way for the Renault team. And as he does so, he knows he's got Total Peace, the championship leader, in behind, and he knows that he's going to give him a real hard time early on in this Grand Prix. Obviously looking to solidify his championship position here in round 4 of this LNR season. Looking further back, Treminator as well for Red Bull, still very much there. His teammate, though, has really dropped off. Vanderlei, obviously the sister car team, up into P13, or down in P13, shall I say. A few movements around on the track. Obviously, Jonathan Cox, I think, had a mighty start as well, and managed to really push himself through into P6. So a great showing from that AlphaTauri. Crooksy as well, out of nowhere, up into P5. There's movement all across the grid order, guys.
I've got to say, a great start from Aylan, moving himself up from last place in P19 to P12. 7 spots on those hard tyres. Definitely coming in for Aylan now, as those hard tyres obviously can go long now as well. So definitely in the box seat right now for me, I think.
Definitely, and he's got all the power in the world currently on his side. Just looking further back, Owen All. There is currently an even split between the top 3, half a second separating Noble, Julian, Total Peace and Owen All right now. But looking further down, a battle there. NUF1 and our Vanderlei as NUF1 creeps by the AlphaTauri, heading into turn 1, and the McLaren cinches up on him, takes that P13. Lucky number, maybe for some.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this Crooksy Treminator battle, because if Crooksy can stay with Treminator within that DRS, now the DRS has been active, now we're on lap 3, he will have a great chance here being the lead driver of the mediums. He's had a good start himself, he's gone up, he now takes 6 tenths behind Treminator at the moment, who has dropped off the back of Owen All early on. So be interesting to see if he can keep that, because he's leading this small train of John Cox and Denge and Paulie Orange, who's currently got the fastest lap. And I think John Cox has gone for it down the inside of him as I'm riding on board. John Cox with the P5, Crooksy P6.
He has just managed to nail that overtake on Crooksy. Another man under pressure as well is Harrison, because he's got Energetic 6 all over his back end. The Silver Arrows, the Mercedes in all sorts of trouble right now. The yellow Renault all over, creeping and a peeping on the inside of the Silver Arrows. The Renault clinging on for all he's worth. Energetic 6. We've got a movement at the back end to F1. Forfeits P15 to FTH KRC, as though we're seeing Energetic 6 dashing down the inside there of the Silver Arrows. Can he hold on? Going into the hairpin bend. Harrison in all sorts of trouble, breaking just to the Rolex banner. Here comes Phil. Energetic 6 moves into P11. Here comes the Haas. They're going in tandem, but still Harrison hangs on, going around the final bend, yet they still challenge toe to toe, going down the straight, heading into lap 4, and still Harrison, even with the DRS, in all sorts of trouble. They're going 3 wide into turn 1, and the Haas is coming into play ball, and as you can see, Phil is in all sorts of trouble, but still manages to hold on. Phenomenal racing down that stretch.
We had an issue for Andenge. Sorry, Dross, to interrupt you there, mate. Andenge went off into turn 1, which promotes poorly Orange, but Crooksy and Jonathan Cox having a good battle as Jonathan Cox launching one up the inside. Crooksy went wide just to take evasive action, so there's no contact, and Jonathan Cox through.
In amongst all that happening, Total P's took the lead on the back straight with the help of DRS. Kept it then into turn 1, so he's now going to be looking to pull away at the start, because Owen Oll's right on the back of Noble for that P2 position. Pease looks like he's going to pull away if he can get out of this DRS zone. And he's almost there.
We got battles all across the grid. They're coming down the straight now, and obviously this is going to be Owen Oll's chance now to grasp that P2 spot. Obviously the Ferrari looking for an upturn in his fortunes as they come down towards the straight now here in lap 4 of 28. You can see there Noble in the distance. Further back though, a battle with Paulie Orange and Crooksy. Paulie Orange in the Haas, looking, sizing up now. Crooksy, oh, a nudge in the back there with the safety car coming out. He had to slow down. I'm surprised, if anything, if there's any damage on that car, Paulie Orange's car. It looked like that was destined for a front wing damage.
He has got a right end plate missing on that Haas for Paulie Orange. That has not worked out for him one bit now. But a lot of people boxing now, getting off those soft tyres. Obviously, doesn't work out for Paulie as he was on those medium tyres. But obviously, a long race still to go, 23 laps. Anything can happen.
Yeah, that was strange. It appeared that Crooksy seemed to stop for the safety car line, and then there was a bit of contact and just carried on speeding up afterwards. I'm not sure what happened, whether it was a desync issue or whether he did just panic when that safety car came out. But obviously Paulie Orange picking up some damage and having to box. He's gone on the hards.
We'll see a lot of drivers occupying the hard tyres now. Certainly only 5 laps in and already lots of drama here. Obviously NUF1 currently, I believe, out of the race, I think. According to my telemetry, he is greyed out at the bottom of the classifications. Not a great day for him, that's for sure. Looking further down, obviously you've got for TLT, Payne's dead at the back as well with Gods. Obviously they're on fresher hard tyres. After pitting earlier on, as you can now see further back as well. Total P's after sacrificing his P1 to pit onto a set of soft tyres. That's an interesting strategy. Didn't expect that here in lap 5. I'm just wondering what his thinking is behind that.
I'm not sure. Maybe he just wants to try and build a gap. Maybe go soft medium for the rest of it. But the biggest winner out of all of this has been Alan. Starting last on the grid, he's up into P5. His hard tyres will still be fine. He still have a lot of laps left in those. So he's looking like he's had a great start.
And he could yet finish strong as well, because if he opts for the softs towards the end, that'll allow him to carry more pace to the end of the race. Obviously, at the moment in P5, currently stuck behind Energetic 6 at this moment in time, but still a long way to go. Like I said, only 5 laps in, 28, remember, we have got in store for us, 23 remaining in total. Alan with a great chance and a mesmeric drive to move up through the grid and take advantage of the safety cars that we've got on circuit here. Naturally, that'll allow his hard tyres to carry on that little bit longer and therefore carry out more pace at the end of the race as well. So do watch out for Alan, because he's going to be a real danger at the end of this Grand Prix. But as you can say, anything can happen. We've only come into 5 laps. We've still got 23 remaining.
It was interesting that Total P's is down in 10th. He must have been held in that Mercedes garage because he was the first to come into the pits, and he's lost out on 2 positions according to my telemetry.
Sorry, Drops. I believe he was held with Paulie Orange coming into the pits. I was on board with Paulie Orange, and it looked like he was just getting held just so that Haas could go by.
Yeah, so he's lost 8 by pitting early, but at the moment he holds the fastest lap, which is another point for his championship lead. And obviously, we know he's fast. We know he's already made the move on Noble once. Let's see what he can do from there. He's in P10 at the moment.
Yep, still a long way to go. He's on the softs. A very strange move, certainly, given the fact that those softs won't take him to the end. But maybe he's thinking of utilising the 2-stop. And you can understand the method of thinking there. Obviously, keep the tyres fresh right through the race. Obviously, he wants to try and generate top speed while on circuit, so we'll see if that works out for him. I think that's obviously going to be a direct contrast to what Aylin will have in mind through this race. Obviously, going to want to try and conserve the hard tyres for as long as possible, and then pit onto the softs in order to generate that little bit of extra pace. So it's going to be a tale of two strategies here, certainly, in this race, and it could throw up many questions before we hit the end of this Grand Prix.
I definitely think, though, Aylin is the one to look out for. Obviously, the safety car helping him stay on those hard tyres for as long as he can. Obviously, I know it's about 3 laps, but 3 laps can make the difference from softs to mediums and how they stay in that proper range. As now the safety car is coming in, and Jonathan Cox will lead the pack, boys.
He certainly will. The AlphaTauri leading the way. Crooksy in P2. As you can see, obviously, it's going to be Jonathan Cox who decides when the pace resumes here in lap 7. It will be. And you can see there Crooksy there in the racing point, just tucked in behind the AlphaTauri, as things standing behind a Reg, who's in P3 for McLaren. Energetic 6 in P4. But obviously still a lot of racing left to do here. It's going to be a corker.
These guys need to be careful of on this next hairpin is not to make contact, because it loves handing out 5-second penalties, and they don't want to be captured by that coming towards the end of this race with the grid being as tight as it is.
Certainly not. The delta times are going to be so thin, any upset can cause huge damage to your possible classification finish. You do not want to sacrifice anything, and certainly time penalties are not something, they're certainly not going to be your best friend, as Jonathan Cox resumes the pace now and getting away instantly. Vil Energetic 6 challenging a Reg now as they come through to the next right-hander. Vil Energetic 6 gathering momentum there. Round turn 1, able to execute very well indeed. Gets P3 at the start. What a restart there by the Renault driver. Looking further back, Aylin riding on the back of that Mercedes. Harrison in deep trouble yet again.
Well, I think Harrison got Aylin off the start, because obviously Aylin was P5.
Well, Aylin's...
Yeah, and Noble's just got him on the inside as well, but Noble, that's the second move he's done since that safety car restart, and Total Peas has also made his way up to P8, so he's made 2 positions since that safety car restart, both of them on the soft compound, so expect those to cut through this field.
Maybe those hards just taking a little bit of time to warm up, maybe after that restart, might not have done enough warming up for those hard tyres. Sorry, George, for interrupting you there, mate.
Well, it's interesting that they picked the soft tyres again as Noble makes another move on the inside of Harrison, moving into the next left. What a move by the Dutchman, the Flying Dutchman, once again knocking together himself up into P5, using those softs very well indeed. Lap 7 of 28. Noble up into P5. Renault P3 and 5.
Total Peas also passes Aylin now on the back straight. Aylin will tuck in behind, and Total Peas has actually been disconnected. Commentator's curse there.
So
hopefully so is Aylin.
Well, he's tucked in behind his teammate at the moment, that being Harrison. So we got 2 Mercedes, P6 and 7. Looking further up as well, there is a battle going on between FTH, KRC and Andenge. And then going 2-on-2 into the final corner, heading into the main straight. As you can now see, FTH still holding on, but Andenge is right in his slipstream now. And you can imagine, no DRS, but still he's able to try and generate some pace off the slipstream. Dives in on the inside, does the Williams, and manages to execute a wonderful move on those medium tyres. And now he takes over that P10 roll, but still in tandem as the Red Bull tries to slip inside, but still the Williams strikes back, holds on to P10. and Denge, what a move, very majestic. The Williams up into the top 10.
I'm guessing that they've set the AI quite high here, because Total Peas and Aylin have both been disconnected. Both are trying to get back in at the moment and have both kept their positions in 7th and 8th as it stands, and Peas is still on the back of Harrison, so looks like Peas has just gone solid again, so I think he's back in. Aylin still has an extra 0-0. He's going to try and get this move done, but he needs to be careful, because that ghost car won't be a ghost car for long.
No, we've lost the delta times for now, folks. We'll have to bear with us while the telemetry sorts itself out. We're just looking now. Obviously, Jonathan Cox still leading the way. He's managed to increase the gap by quite a considerable amount now. Crooksy still holding on to P2. Energetic 6, so very much in his grill now. And as you can see, he's now starting to spear forwards now with the DRS on his side. Well, actually saying I don't think he's got the DRS, but he's powering through anyway. Here comes the Renault. Boom! Shakalaka into P2 goes Energetic 6, but the switch back there from Crooksy nails back the P2. What a display there by the Racing Point, but still they go in together into the home stretch. What a battle we got on our hands here as we now see Energetic 6 coming out behind Crooksy now. The Racing Point in real trouble going into turn 1. No move just yet made. Crooksy holds on. What battle in here in lap 9.
While all that's been going on, Noble has snuck up onto the back of this. He's on the back of his teammate now, so whether or not there's going to be some team orders from Renault or whether Energetics wants that P2 before giving Noble a chance to come through. Find out now.
Guys, Peas went up, sorry Droff, I've got to say this, Peas went up the inside of his teammate into turn 1 and looking at a move down into turn 4 but nothing doing. Sorry Droff, continue mate.
No, I was just saying about the teammates, Energetic 6 and Noble. Obviously at the moment Noble being on the faster tyre, whether Energetics will let him through, but I think he probably wants that P2 himself while he's battling. So Noble needs to be patient. He's flying up, he's up to P5.
I think the smart play here is for Energetics to let Noble through and just try and hang on to him. Let Noble pull him through with the DRS, and then when the opportunity arises he can go for the move when he wants to.
Well, at the moment now they're just making their way around the swinging right-hander before the main straight now, and you can now see that further up Noble is ganging up on the back of Energetic 6. Now, will there be team orders at stake here now? But you can see that Energetic 6 has got the DRS now on Crooksy, heading down towards that hairpin bend, and the Racing Point might have his comeuppance here. No switchback available because he hugs the inside, does the Renault. You can see there Noble hugging right to the back of his teammate now as they head round towards the final corner. Once again, Crooksy survives. What a display of defending once again for the Racing Point. He has been superb as Owen Hall moves up into P7. A cluster of cars there in the middle of the pack as you can now see them moving up behind the Ferrari, in behind Harrison, gunning down on the prancing horse now going through turn 1, but he can't make a move count just quite yet. Amazing display here so far. The delta times separated by none other than a fly's eyelash.
No, and all this is playing right into the hands of Jonathan Cox, who's just driving away into the distance. He's 4.5 seconds clear, 10 laps in. He's got 18 laps left, 1 stop. He's looking very good here to just keep driving. And there goes Noble into P3. I'm not sure if Energetic 6 left the door open on deliberately, but we've got yellow flag. Mars attacking his round in the Racing Point. He now takes up the last position.
Yeah, he's now at the back of the grid now and a solid 6 seconds behind Goads, and certainly a shake-up in the telemetry, that's for sure. You can see there Energetic 6 though in P4 chasing his teammate in behind Total Peas though. He has managed to whittle his way through the time gaps, and oh, a late break there, that was close, very close indeed. Total Peas very nearly wiping himself out of this Grand Prix, very close indeed. Those soft tyres working a bit too well for him there as they cut round the swinging right-hander down towards the straight now. Energetic 6 is in big trouble. Here comes Noble on Crooksy as well. Can Crooksy defend once again, or is Noble going to be too much as they come down towards the hairpin bend? And indeed, they make a move down towards the hairpin bend. It's going to be Noble, but once again, the switchback from Crooksy. What a stylish bit of driving there by the Racing Point, but Noble has still got the advantage. Presses in to the final corner, heads down the stretch now. They go in tandem down towards turn 1, a battling behind as well with Total Peas, ganging up on Energetic 6, but Noble keeps his position. He stays in P2. Energetic 6 also trying to hold off the attack from Total Peas. Indeed, though, it looks like the Renault might hold on here as they round the next corner. The Mercedes still there, though. He can't get rid of him. It's battle on battle here in China, and I'm about to lose my voice, so I'll hand you over to DroftahS.
It's insane. Energetic 6 looking to hold the inside, but Peas dives it down. Brakes late. Energetics is going to look for the switchback himself. Hasn't got quite the traction that Peas has got with those soft tyres, so Peas finally gets that move done. Noble's pulling away from Crooksy now, so Noble's now looking to chase John Cox down. Peas is clear into 4th, and Andenge has just moved past the Reg into 7th position.
I've got to say, that was a great move, riding on board Van Dengen. A fantastic move. Slotted it around the outside, with a Reg going to the inside, sticking tight, might have lost the back end a little bit, and Andenge with great speed in through the corner and makes it stick now. Next from his Ollie up the road.
Yeah, Alian as well is up there for dancing as well. P10 is at the moment trying to clamp down on a Reg as well. He might get his chance here. Dezalen, the Haas driver, certainly in with a chance as well. He's got his teammate Paulie Orange just tucked in behind too. He's only 2/10 off, but Alian makes a sweeping move on the inside of the McLaren, smoothly does it. His teammate as well, Paulie Orange, going down as well the outside, and the two Haas's taking advantage. The American Haas team notching themselves up a place each. A double overtake against a Reg, and that's certainly going to put a nail in his coffin, that's for sure. The McLaren driver having a mare at lap 12.
And has since come into box now. There's a Reg getting off those medium tyres now. Might have just had enough. Might have just cried enough. A lap too much here. But he can get himself onto those harder compound tyres now.
Yeah, Noble and Pease have both been on those softs now for 6 laps. So looks like the mediums may be on a par with them because they don't seem to be pulling away or catching. Jonathan Cox is actually pulling away from Noble in terms of time, so I expect those to also be coming in soon for another stop. Didn't really work out for him going on to those softs for a quick spell.
No, I got to say I was very surprised when they actually made the move onto those tyres, and certainly given the fact that we got a long race still to go, a very brave move indeed, but hopefully they can get the 2 stop to work appropriately. We'll soon find out though. Obviously we're in lap 12 of 28, still a long way to go yet, folks. And a lot more racing and certainly a lot more battling left to do here just yet. Total P's just trying to round on Crooksy now. Noble Julian still holding on to P2 though as things stand. The Dutchman still there and in P2 trying to close to Jonathan Cox, but Jonathan Cox has managed to drift away so much you have to question how effective those softs are going to be by the time he even reaches Jonathan Cox. And at this rate I think if Coxey can hold on to it, the medium tyres will serve him better than that of the softs on Noble, as we now see Alien make a move there on Harrison there, and so does what looks to be Paulie Orange, just moving in on the inside there at the hairpin bend, and indeed holding on for all he can, but the Mercedes of Harrison is proving to be made of sterner stuff as they around the final bend. The Harrison there goes into the pit lane, he's going to make a change. Drama here once again in lap 13.
And Crooksy and Noble are both in as well.
Yeah, that was to be expected from those soft tyres. I think those soft tyres don't look like they're going. I mean, Pease is 9 seconds off the back of John Cox, and that delta is just increasing.
For sure, definitely is going up massive amounts with Energetics staying in that DRS range, and Ollie just behind Energetic 6 now as well. Looking very tight with the deltas.
Oh, a very auspicious move there from Ali, and very nearly lost the car there going around that bend. Certainly that cost him a bit of time. In fact, it allowed Paulie Orange to escape through on the inside, and now he's in trouble because Treminator, who is on fresher hard tyres, is only half a second behind him right now. And you can see there the Red Bull car just sweeping in behind Alien now, and he's going to have to do all he can to try and hold off this dominating Red Bull car that certainly looks like it's carrying more, certainly more pace, given the fact that he's got a fresher compound on as they now round the next swinging right-hander. I'm going to call it the spoon curve, given the fact that it sort of represents a similar corner to what the spoon curve of Japan gives us as they now make their way down the stretch now. Can the Red Bull take advantage of the situation? It looks like the time gap might be a little bit too much for him to handle as they now make their way down the stretch now. The DRS is open indeed, but Alien has also got DRS on his teammate, that being Paulie Orange. No move can be made for Alien just yet, but obviously we got movements up the track as we now see Owen Ol is now making a move. He now moves into P3 because Total P's is now pitting those soft tyres.
Yeah, Paulie Orange is the leader of the hard runners at the moment, up into P5, so he's looking like if he can get those going, that bit of damage earlier which cost him places he could have recovered from. Solid drive so far.
And also don't forget Jonathan Cox, currently 10.5 seconds clear of Energetic 6. He's running away with this race right now if he can keep up this pace. I mean, obviously he's going to have to pit those medium tyres somewhere around about lap 15 and 16, I would have thought. Naturally, we're already seeing quite a few drivers pit their mediums already, donning the hard tyres to the end of the race. It'll be interesting to see how those guys that got on the softs earlier on are going to find things towards the end as well. Naturally, they will benefit from having fresher tyres heading down towards lap 28. But still a long way to go, folks, and plenty of twists in the tail, that's for sure.
Yeah, coming up to the DRS zone now, I expect Owen Ol to make a move on Energetic 6. So he's outbroke himself into the, what you would call spoon. Coming round it now, he will get DRS still, but he might be a bit too far back now.
But that has let Denge get closing on Ollie now, obviously outbreaking himself, and Denge now closing in, and will get that DRS. So we've got a little bit of a train going on for P2 now. Be interesting to see if anybody can make any moves in the coming laps.
Certainly well, Owen All breaking really late now to try and close the gap on Energetic 6, but obviously the time gap is being wasted because he's got to try and regain the power on the exit of the corner. But obviously Energetic 6 carrying a lot more speed through a lot of the bends and certainly making the most of his medium tyres. He's got to, considering the fact that Owen All has got fresher tyres on. Don't forget though, Andenge is in behind these two, just waiting for it all to unfold. He might have a chance of sniffing through on the inside against one of these guys. Certainly we could be in for a three-wide battle here on the outset of the first few bends now, as you can now see Owen All getting right close and personal to the back end of that Renault now, and certainly it's going to be tasty. This battle is going to be the focus here of lap 15, as we now see the prancing horse of the Ferrari ganging up all over the Renault now. Energetic 6 is going to do all he can to defend, but he's left the door wide open. Here comes the Ferrari, the prancing horse moving on the outside, and certainly Owen All is now going to give him a bit of a hard time as they're round the next left-hander. They've got a semi-straight round the next right, and certainly it's going to be a test of strength here as they're now round the next left. It's all to play for. Yellow flags in sector 2. Here comes the Williams of Andenge. Who's going to benefit here of this three-way battle as they come towards the next left-hander before Spoon? You can see there the Renault still trying to defend the position. The Ferrari's going to lose this time, I think, unless he can hang on, and he certainly can. Owen All rounding the corner now, holding on to P2. He's got him. He's got him. Energetic 6 down to P3. What a move by Owen All.
Yeah, and Andenge almost had the perfect run there. He actually went that quick himself that he just nudged the back of Energetic, but the speed he's coming down on these two, looking to go for the inside and go for a double overtake. This could be incredible. Late on the brakes, and what a move from Andenge that is. Two guys, one corner. Incredible stuff.
Incredible move there by Andenge to sweep off Owen All and Energetic 6 at the end of lap 16, moving into lap 16 as Jonathan Cox has led them through, but he's going to be in danger anyway because here comes Owen All. He has the DRS. He's going to be punching through here at round turn 1. Can he hold on though? No, I think Andenge has the advantage. He's got the better traction. Can the Ferrari? No, he can't make the move. He cannot make it stick. Andenge still holds on to P2. Great defending by the Williams.
Interestingly enough, while all that was going on, Paulie Orange in the Haas put his foot down and he gained 3 seconds on that gap, so he's now back on Energetic 6. He also dragged Aylin along with him a little bit, who's only 1.5 seconds back, so Paulie Orange looking to try and take P4, and he has taken P4. Great stuff from the Haas driver, and it's a good battle there.
Yeah,
Orange on the inside.
They're still battling now.
Judge.
They're still battling now, going in tandem now into the next left hand. You can see there, Ville Energetic 6 there, still trying to hold on to that P4, but Paulie Orange just proving that much tougher for him. And obviously I think that Energetic 6 tyres now are starting to wear off the 15 lap old tyres. Surely he's going to have to pit now for a fresher compound. Whether he'll go onto the hards I'm not sure, but Paulie Orange still donning reasonably fresh hard tyres there. Only 10 laps that he's acquired onto those, and already he's kicked on by half a second ahead of the Renault and is now trying to guise up there on Owen All. Any predictions, guys, going towards the end of this race? Obviously, we are in lap 17 of 28, more than over the halfway point.
Well, from this position, it's Jonathan Cox's to lose. As Andenge stays out, and Owen All comes into the pits from second place as he just made the move. But this is John Cox's race to lose. If he keeps it clean, keeps it tidy, and there's no safety cars, he just has a simple drive to the finish because of the battling that's happened behind him.
Certainly does. It's his style of racing as well, isn't it? I mean, certainly he likes to head to the front and obviously try and get himself out the way of any other passing cars and naturally just nullify any potential battles that are around him. Obviously, he can be... he does tend to be quite open to incidents on circuit. He does tend to push that a little bit too hard, but certainly when he's got nothing around him to add pressure on, he generally can drive very sensibly and quite pacey as well, and you can see that by the fact that he's now up to 14.
Sorry mate, Total Peas is in a wall. The championship leader is in a wall.
Blimey, he is indeed, and he is out into the gravel trap. The kitty litter being occupied by the Mercedes, and that certainly puts him in a very compromising situation, and certainly not what the championship leader wants to be in. And now he's had to recover to the track now, back in P15 in lap 17 of 28. Not ideal for the championship leader. Pillars, any comments from yourself?
He's missing an end plate.
It's been a crazy race, lads. But I think the big guys to look out for are the two Haas drivers. On those hard tyres, they might be able to get there, but I think Jonathan Cox running away with it at the moment. I'm on board with Alhan just closing in slowly on Energetics, but can't make the move down the back straight. I think you said it right, George. Jonathan Cox leading from the front there. Looking very solid at the moment. But obviously, 10 laps left. Anything can happen.
Certainly can. 10 laps left, like he was saying. Obviously, this is almost soft tyre territory, but I think a lot of these guys are going to be opting for hards. But as I say that, Painsdead and Art Vanderlei both opting for the soft tyres here with 10 laps remaining. So a very reasonable, sensible decision from them. Obviously gives them a chance to rise up the ranks as Crooksy now makes an overtake there on for TLT, because for TLT's in the pits now. And is actually, I think he's going to opt for a pair of mediums as well. So a lot of drivers now opting for the medium tyres to take them to the end. It's going to be a jumble as to who's going to take the result here, folks. But Jonathan Cox very much in the driving seat. He could end up finishing on soft tyres here.
Well, I'm just looking at, obviously, Paulie Orange come off the mediums to go onto the hards. I wonder if he could take those to the end, because at the moment he's only 14 seconds off Jonathan Cox. So if Jonathan Cox does pit, Paulie Orange will be net lead of this, because I don't think Andenge is going to take those mediums another 10 laps. Pease is now retired from the session in the pit lane, but Orange is going to come onto this back straight with DRS on Andenge in this battle for second place.
And Andenge has got 12 laps on those medium tyres. The hards are going to be a little bit more effective than what his are at this moment in time. As you can now see, the Haas driver now starting to really push and prod at this Williams of Andenge, who's in P2. We're in lap 18, don't forget, of 28 here, and 10 laps remain in this race. It's crunch time here, folks, as we now see Paulie Orange braking a little bit later than Andenge, going down to the hairpin. And certainly the Williams knows that he's got problems on his, certainly problems in waiting in the wings here, as you can now see Paulie Orange now heading through the final corner now. You can see the Williams dead ahead. The DRS opens up and he activates, heading down towards turn 1. Can Paulie Orange get close enough? No. The straight line speed of Andenge still enough to try and defend and halt the approaching attack here from the Haas, but still no moves yet made. Still Andenge holds on, but for how long can he do so?
We've got Alan just coming into the pits there, going for the medium tyres, just making sure they last to the end now. I think softs might be a bit of a stretch. They normally only last about 6-7 laps around here. So maybe if Pains and Art Vanderlei can look after those tyres and get into the end, but I think Alan just playing the right call there on the mediums.
Certainly a very defensive call. He's trying to be very cautious as to the wear on this circuit. Obviously, given the amount of corners and the hairpin bends, it does add that little bit more percentage of wear onto your compounded tyre. And obviously Alien has thought that in his head, and obviously he's just considering the fact that he just wants to take this car to the end. He's in the points, so nonetheless he's in 10th position, and certainly he'll be in with every chance in order to benefit in this race here today. Obviously cars ahead of him such as FTH, KRC have amounted 16 laps on their tyres, and if you look at the likes of Energetic 6 and Jonathan Cox and Andenge, all of them have amounted 10 plus laps on their medium compounded tyres. So we will be expecting changes being made, certainly for Jonathan Cox and for Energetic 6. So it's going to be raising a lot of questions. So Jonathan Cox is in the pit lane, guys.
Yeah, I think he needed to. He was losing time rapidly to Andenge. Those tyres had lost their wear. Paulie Orange just can't get close enough to Andenge before a braking zone. Every time he gets there, he loses a bit of traction and just doesn't quite get enough. But it'd be interesting to see if he can do it.
Absolutely. He's just coming out of the pits now. Jonathan Cox on the softs. And Andenge is now leading the race. Obviously, Paulie Orange now in with a great chance of sealing this race at this moment in time with 8 laps remaining. Obviously, it's going to be a huge pressure buzz towards the end, because obviously you'd expect Jonathan Cox now to really come out fighting towards the end. Now he's going to carry so much pace towards the end of this race with 8 laps remaining. Plenty of time for him to really start gunning down on the delta times and really try and push his authority on this grid order. Just looking further down as well, Treminator, remember, he's got to try and keep this AlphaTauri at bay for the time being. The sister car starting to round up on the back end of the Red Bull. He needs to start growing some wings, certainly this Red Bull car, if he's going to try and battle back. But Jonathan Cox sweeps down the inside, and what a beautiful move that is if he can make it stick, and he does. He's in P4. Phenomenal driving there. The fresh softs working straight off the bat. He's up to P4, 2.5 seconds behind Energetic 6.
This has been a better lap from Paulie Orange. A lot closer to Andenge now on this lap. We're now Hound in the back. DRS open, Andenge moves defensive, but the DRS and the overtake, the move's already done. Fantastic stuff from Paulie Orange just to get into the lead now. The main thing is, can he pull away before Jonathan Cox on those fresh softs gets to him?
Well, just look at that.
FTH has got a puncher on 17 lap old mediums by the look of it. It looks like his front left is punctured. So he's taken another trip onto the gravel, which doesn't look good for Energetics, because his tyres are 2 laps older. So the interesting, no, he's just picked as I say that.
Yeah, and Jonathan Cox is now up to P2, so we've got a straight fight now in between Paulie Orange and Jonathan Cox. How quickly can Jonathan Cox get close to Paulie Orange? He's got 5.8 seconds to find against the Haas driver at this moment in time. We've got 7 laps remaining. Surely that's enough time for those soft tyres to really spring into effect now. Alien has set the fastest lap of a 1:33.274 on medium tyres, so those fresh mediums are starting to work for him. He's now moved ahead of Andenge into P7, so a great drive so far from Alien. Those medium tyres really working for him now. And he's only got 4.8 seconds to find on Crooksy, but already Jonathan Cox now getting himself within 5 seconds now of Paulie Orange. The time gap is starting to shrink.
Yeah, he should eat away at that time gap on those fresh softs. The problem is he's going to take those softs 8 laps, which means they will die with about 2 laps to go towards the end. So if Orange can stay with him, we could have a battle on our hands, but Jonathan Cox can get him and pull away, then you should see this out and look after those tyres. The SC, that will help him manage those tyres a little bit better.
Yeah, it'll give Jonathan Cox more scope for more tyres, that's for sure. Certainly given the fact that the VSC will slow down the Delta pace. And naturally that'll help him by slowing the car down. And obviously the whole grid will slow down. And therefore he can just coast the car through the next few bends and try and take out a huge chunk of laps here at this, certainly at this Chinese circuit. But obviously Jonathan Cox has still got to try and apply the pressure on Paulie Orange. Currently, it's Paulie Orange's race to lose right now. And Jonathan Cox has got to do all he can to try and recover the time that he lost during the pit stop, which I'm sure he can do, given the fact that he's on the quicker tyre. You can see there Paulie Orange in the camera shot there. So Jonathan Cox is well within a chance here, and already he's shrunken it by 0.6 of a second.
And Treminator's just picked up a drive-through penalty under that VSC, and he was P3 when that happened, so he's in the pits now serving that drive-through penalty, which is unfortunate for him because he's just potentially thrown away a podium position there.
Well, Julian has managed to come back into it, and he's only 10.3 seconds away from Jonathan Cox. He's on those 8-lap-old mediums, which should get him to the end now. Obviously, I say should. Bear in mind, obviously, we did see a puncture earlier on for 15-lap-old mediums, so fingers crossed he can keep Crooksy at bay. Obviously, Crooksy is going to finish strong because he's only got 8-lap-old hards, and those hards can take a real hammering. And let's not forget Andenge, who's just pitted onto softs as well, so he could really be in for a tussle for the P3 position with 6 laps remaining.
Andenge is going to be right in Crooksy for the DRS zone here on fresh softs. He's all over the back of him straight away. So expect him to move up to 4th, and he's got a lot of chasing down to see if he can get close to Julian.
He certainly can, and he makes a daring move on the inside of Crooksy, and I've got to say, very smartly done indeed. Andenge has been very impressive today with his racecraft, and once again steals the show here with a P4. Excellent drive indeed. Steals it there with fresh softs, certainly working for him once again. The softs are certainly working at the end of this circuit. Obviously the track's nice and warm. They're able to gather the time that much easier, and as you can see, Jonathan Cox already within 2 seconds, as we now see Crooksy now looking to attack him once again, but this time the Williams is able to make use of the grip on the fresh and soft tyres, and still holds on to P4, and he's going to career away and close on Noble Julian.
Yeah, and Andenge putting in the fastest lap of the race to boot with that overtake too. So he's 5.5 seconds, like you say. We expect Jonathan Cox to be right behind Paulie Orange by the end of this lap, if not before. He's just outside of DRS at the moment with Paulie Orange coming up the traffic.
Yeah, he's got certainly a car that's needs lapping ahead of him. I think, in fact, it's Payne's Dead who's at the back of the grid at this moment in time. The Alfa Romeo really in trouble here, and obviously, certainly given the fact that he's at the back of the grid, he probably won't worry too much. Obviously, given the fact that Paulie Orange is obviously leading this race, blue flag conditions. Certainly, as you can now see them being raised there on the flashboards there on the side of the circuit. And therefore it looks like he's going to have to make way for the lead cars, but obviously that's not going to matter to Jonathan Cox, because all he cares about is closing down on Paulie Orange, and already he's within the second now. He's got the DRS now pretty much heading down the stretch, and you can see that Haas is starting to get closer and closer and closer. You can see there Paulie Orange trying to weave out of the slipstream, trying to give nothing to that AlphaTauri, but it's not going to matter because Jonathan Cox with these soft tyres is beginning to really see the back end of that Jack and Jones logo on the back of that Haas car. It's starting to get clearer now, and indeed Paulie Orange now in lots of pressure because Jonathan Cox is going to have DRS once again as they head down towards turn 1. The AlphaTauri looks menacing here.
Yeah, Jonathan Cox picking up a warning there running wide, which means he's only got one more warning left before he can pick up a time penalty, which could change things, but Paulie Orange got DRS off that back marker there, which helped him on that straight keep position, so he gets another at least half a lap in front. And Jonathan Cox just has to be sensible, take his time, take him on the straight, and no, yes, he's going to go for it down the inside.
Yeah, there was a slight lock up there.
So much more traction.
There was a slight lock-up there from Paulie Orange, which pretty much made way for Jonathan Cox, and he was able to take him with ease pretty much. Obviously, given the fact that the Haas lost a little bit of traction there due to the lock-up on the front right-hand side, and Jonathan Cox was able to take advantage there. The AlphaTauri now leading the race, and certainly the strategy has worked out certainly very well for him. He is now leading this Grand Prix with 4 laps remaining. Paulie Orange in P2. Julian is going to be under pressure soon, though, because Andenge is gunning for him. He is now within 3 seconds.
There's an interesting battle between the two Ferraris. Definitely no team orders there. They've just passed each other twice on that last lap for 9th and 10th position for the final points. Also, Aylin has got himself within the DRS of Cruxy for that P5 position. So, lots of things happening out there, not just at the front.
No, it certainly is. It's right across the grid order. Looking further down as well, Art Vanderlei, who's on reasonable fresh tyres. He's trying to really sweep up on Gods right now. And as you say, the Ferraris are still going at each other tooth and nail. They got pretty similar tyres on as well. Both donning mediums that are on 5 and 6 laps. So certainly they're going to leave nothing to chance. It's going to be a complete DRS battle here towards the end of this Grand Prix. Paulie Orange still in amongst the rest, though, as Alien now challenges on Cruxy heading down into the hairpin bend, and those mediums are still working for Alien as well. And now, at this moment in time, is 5.8 seconds in behind Andenge, who is currently eating away at Noble's time, Delta time as well. At this moment in time, currently 1.7 seconds in behind Noble. And Alien able to make it stick now, holding on to P5. Haas doing extremely well in today's Chinese Grand Prix.
Paulie Orange is desperately trying to cling on to this 1 second window from Jonathan Cox, but those tyres are just still too fresh. Jonathan Cox has broken the DRS right now. Cruxy is also doing the same with Alihan. He's just picked up a 3-second time penalty trying to stay with him, so obviously that's going to hamper him. But again, the Ferraris still separated by half a second, still battling hard. Nice to see them in the points.
Absolutely, let's hope they hold on to it. We can't afford any Leclerc and Vettel moments here today at China. Certainly they don't want to be losing any opportunity to gather points for their respective team. At this moment in time, though, for TLT still in P9. And Owen All in P10, really trying to gun on his teammate as well, like I said before, both donning similar age medium tyres. Looking further up though, Andenge still in P4 and really closing the gap now on Noble now, because Noble's in trouble now. They've only got 3 laps remaining here, folks, and still there's plenty of scope for change on the podium, because at this moment in time Andenge is finishing very, very quick indeed, and he's now within that second gap. Can he make that move on Noble Julian?
He's certainly got the tyres to do so. Gets the corner there, but Julian gets it all wrong coming out of there, and Andenge will take him on the outside. Whether or not he can keep it and hold the line, Mars attacking picks up a 3-second time penalty.
We've lost Noble. We've lost Noble. A crash, a smash into the wall there, and he's in the middle of the circuit.
They've hit each other.
Yeah, they have hit each other, and Andenge has managed to come out of it okay. No damage on the Williams, and in all that, Alien's moved up to P4, so he's now within a great chance himself, as long as he can keep it clean. I'm not sure what the penalty situation's like in the top 3, but at this moment in time, Alien could be in with a good chance here if he can pile any more Delta time on Andenge. It depends on how those soft tyres are feeling, albeit they've only got 4 laps of wear on them. So at this moment in time, looks pretty ominous as to who is going to be picking up the top 3 positions at the end of the race.
Well, I can give you an update on the penalty situation right now. Alian hasn't had a warning, so he's had a flawless drive so far. Andenge has 6 seconds of penalties, according to my race director. Paulie Orange is clean, so is Jonathan Cox. Neither of those have got penalties, and Cruxy's just picked up his first on that last lap. So Alihan, as long as he stays and gets within 6 seconds of Andenge, he could sneak a podium for a potential double Haas.
Yeah, well, at the moment he's only just under or just over 1/10 of a second behind Andenge. So if he can, he's now within the gap now. So if it stays like this, he could very well end up on the podium, as long as he can eat away at that time gap, and he's still eating away at it, because it's 5.8 seconds now. It's 6 now going around the hairpin bend, but certainly he's gathering a lot of momentum and pace. I mean, if he can keep this up, he can really challenge Andenge for this podium spot and end up getting a P3 or a podium due to penalties. Let's wait and find out and see how that works. Pillars, what are your comments?
it's been an absolute amazing race today. Obviously, I was on board with Andenge and Noble when that crash happened. Couldn't believe what I saw there. Obviously, unfortunate for Noble, but lucky for Andenge, you can still carry on and continue into P3. But Alan looks real solid today. Obviously, no warnings, looking very, very comfortable. And obviously, in that 6 second range, obviously, it would be interesting to see if Andenge has any more life left in his tyres. If he can stretch that gap back to 6 seconds and keep that P3, mate.
Absolutely, and Energetic 6 is finishing quick as well because he's on 5-lap-old softs and trying to battle with Crooksy now. Crooksy on 13-lap-old hards, and certainly he's going to be pretty much cow fodder for this Renault, certainly given the fact that he's only got 5-lap-old softs on. Energetic 6 looking to finish strong here now in lap 27 of 28. As you can now see them heading down towards the next left-hand of the racing point, still trying to hold firm, but the Renault is squirming all over the back end of Crooksy right now, and certainly there is problems ahead for this racing point as they now round the next right-hander heading down the main straight. Energetic 6 is going to have DRS heading down this stretch now. He's only 6/10 of a second in behind the racing point, as you can now see them heading hammer and tongs down the stretch now before they reach the hairpin bend under the Rolex banner. Crooksy's still able to hold on, but for how much longer? We are now on the final lap of the race. Jonathan Cox looking to bring it home, albeit though Paulie Orange is still in the midst, only half a second behind Jonathan Cox.
Have those soft tyres gone off?
Paulie Orange just got himself into the DRS for the home straight. He was out of it for the back straight, and he was riding on board. He's got it under braking. Those soft tyres look like they're struggling now. So we've got a few corners left, one DRS zone to go, and can Jonathan Cox hold it from Paulie Orange? Both have similar ERS, almost identical, so this is going to be interesting. 22-lap-old hards. Credit to Paulie Orange for even getting this far and pressuring him at the moment.
Well, we got another battle as well further down the grid. Crooksy showing that he's no slouch here, holding on to P5 as best he can. Energetic 6 breaks late, and certainly it looks like the racing point might have him here, and he certainly does. He's held on just about to P5. A great show of defensive play there from Crooksy, getting the car in a very good position to maintain that P5. Energetic 6 doing his damnedest to try and hold him off. But now as we go down the straight, you can see there Paulie Orange trying to make use of that final DRS section on Jonathan Cox. I don't think there's going to be enough time. Too much straight line speed on that AlphaTauri as they round the penultimate corner before they reach the final bend before the home stretch now. You can see there Jonathan Cox there. The AlphaTauri once again proving to be too tough. It is going to be Jonathan Cox that wins the Chinese Grand Prix by a fly's eyelash there. It was 2 tenths separating the two at the end there. Now Haas, what a phenomenal drive by Paulie Orange to maintain that. And Denge as well will run the final bend. Will Allian get that P3 position and make it a 2-3 for Haas as they cross the line? And Denge finishes P3, but here comes Allian. Is he going to get it? No, he doesn't. He must have had a penalty last minute. He does not grab that P3. That means that Andenge gets in the podium places.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's gone on with the deltas there. It tells me that Alihan's had no penalties and Andenge's had 6 seconds on the race director, so obviously something's wrong, but well done on Andenge on getting that P3.
It's a very surprising...
Came up with any other message, but the two Ferraris separated, split by Treminator for 7th, 8th and 9th. Harrison picking up the final point position. What we have got to look at as well that I've not noticed is the fastest lap. Fastest lap of the race was Andenge with 1:32.0. He'll get the extra point for that regardless. So, congratulations to Jonathan Cox. Hard fought win. And lucky Paulie Orange. I think he needed one more lap. Great race though.
It was a great race, a great finale as well, some great battling towards the end. Excellent drive from Paulie Orange to maintain the 23-lap-old hard tyres there towards the end of the race, and to even challenge for a P1 against 8-lap-old softs is something that you very rarely see in Formula 1, but a phenomenal drive nonetheless, and he's going to be pleased with that. And certainly a great drive from Andenge. Unfortunate there for Allian as well, who's been made driver of the day by the game. Obviously leave your comments there for driver of the day in the chat window. It's been a phenomenal race. We'll just ride through the final classifications, but first obviously Jonathan Cox takes that P1. A great drive indeed. He'd be well chuffed with that. and certainly will help his prospects certainly towards the championship this season after round 4. That's your final classifications, folks. Jonathan Cox takes the P1 after netting yet another great win. Here comes Paulie Orange though, P2, finishing 2/10 behind Jonathan Cox there. A great drive from him to carry those hard tyres for a round as long as he did. And Denge there in P3 for Williams after that display. Obviously questions surrounding the penalty system there. Alien in finishing P4, could have been P3 if the penalties were followed through. Crooksy in P5, Energetic 6 in P6. In P7 you got Owen Old, Treminator P8, separated the two Ferraris for TLT. That Ferrari in P9, Harrison in P10, Gods in P11, Ireg P12, Art Vanderlei P13, Mars Attack in P14, FTH KRC in P15, and you got Noble in P16 with Pains and Total P's. Then you F1 rounding off the grid order. They are your 3 DNFs for this race, as well as Noble Julian. But what a race though, chaps. Great drive indeed, and I can see we've got the 3 podium sitters in the chat window with us now, and we have to go back and obviously speak to them now. We'll just join them in the chat window. Obviously, Jonathan Cox, a phenomenal drive from you, sir. You must be pleased with that victory.
Yeah. I had super pace tonight on the mediums, and I was just pulling away whilst Andreas and Energetics were battling as well, so that kind of helped as well. So, but yeah, it was a great drive. And yeah.
Was the strategy pretty much as you planned before the start of the race? Obviously, were there any changes that you made? Obviously, were you watching any other drivers to see what they were doing? Obviously, make changes surrounding what they were doing.
Yeah, I was watching the other drivers as well. The original plan was to go onto the hards, but my tyres still felt great, and I thought maybe I could stretch them to lap 18, lap 19, and I did, and I managed to stretch them and bang on the softs, and it paid off. Only just though.
Cracking stuff. I mean, obviously you gained such an extraordinary time gap at the very start of the race. Obviously, you went about 15 seconds clear early on. Did you feel that the race was sewn up by that point, or was there still that little bit of doubt as you were heading into the back end of the race?
There's always a bit of doubt. Yeah, I hold 15 seconds, but it's a long race, and anything can happen. A safety car can change a race. So. Yeah, I'm just happy for the win and just roll on to the next race.
Many congratulations to you, and we wish you the very best of luck for the next one. But a great win.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
We'll move on to our P2 sitter, Paulie Orange. A phenomenal drive by Paulie Orange to get to move those hard tyres the way you did, certainly given the fact that they were that old. And yet you still kept up with the soft tyres that Jonathan Cox was driving. It's a great drive from yourself. You must be chuffed with that result.
I am. It's the first time I haven't taken myself out without ABS or TC, so there we go. It's time. It's Paulie Orange time.
It's Paulie Orange time.
I've got a question for you, Orange. Would that have been different without the damage early on when that first safety car came out?
I was still going to go onto hards, but I had to pit a few laps earlier than I wanted to and get a wing change because someone slammed on the brakes down the straight like a tenth of a second after the safety car came out, and I was a foot away from his rear bumper. So there's nothing I could have done. But yeah, it was on the limit of a puncture. 2 laps to go, it was on like 60% where I decided not to look at it anymore. If they go pop, they go pop. It was hard work.
It was very close. You did well. You did well to cling on to the back of that because John was very quick on those softs, obviously being fresh.
It was. I think a couple of laps to the end, I think his softs were dying.
Yeah, they were starting to die. Yeah, they were starting to die, and probably another lap, you may have got me. But GG's.
My tyres would have gone pop with another lap, I'm sure.
Well, I've got to say, it was a very competitive race across the grid. I mean, obviously, you had to fight your way through the grid order to get yourself up into the podiums. Obviously, I'll ask you the same question I asked Jonathan. Was there any doubt in your mind? Did you ever think that you managed to take the P2 the way you did, or did you weigh up any prospects of disappointment?
I thought everyone was going to catch me once they put on some fresh mediums or softs, but the hards just sort of kept the same pace lap after lap. They didn't really die. I was just losing grit near the end. Almost lost it a couple of times.
Well, fair play to you. You certainly didn't, and congratulations on yet another mesmeric drive. Obviously, great to see you back in racing again, certainly since we met in FOR. But
I've been here all the whole time, mate. It's you.
Yeah, I'm still blaming you. No, I'm joking. No, congratulations, mate. A great drive, and P2, phenomenal drive. We'll now move on to Andenge. Andreas, how you doing? Phenomenal race from yourself. Obviously, some big question marks surrounding the finish there, because we saw that you had a couple of penalties towards your name, and Alien didn't. So we were quite surprised that he didn't get into the P3 finishes, but congratulations nonetheless. How did you feel the race went for yourself?
Definitely, I think I did a really good race. Since Peace and myself are like the biggest rivals, I decided to do another strategy to him. Luckily for me, he didn't finish the race, so either way, if I got a podium or not, I would definitely catch up to him in the championship. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I wouldn't say that I got the podium though, because I reacted to that as well. That I know that Alan was inside the 6 seconds on me, and
yeah, I think the game is burnt out on it. Personally,
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll look into that since I'm the league runner after all. But I'll look into that after the race. So I would definitely say that Alan definitely got the podium for me this time. But I would just say congrats to him, man. He did a superb race for coming. Really good race and race pace and all that stuff. When for me personally, when the safety car came out, I just decided to do a 2-stop. I just committed myself. I did get held up a lot with a lot of battles with Ole, Cruxy, and Hilke and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, I just enjoyed it. It was a great race, a lot of battles, and I'm pretty happy even if I got either P3 or P4. We'll see.
Well, obviously, I mean, battles are great for the viewers, and I think obviously we gave the viewers something to watch there today. Obviously, in terms of where you see yourself going forward, in terms of the championship, how do you feel going through to obviously Total Peas looks to be the dominant force. Obviously, it didn't go his way today, given the fact that he DNF'd. But what are your thoughts and feelings going through the championship? Are you carrying that much more confidence now? After?
Oh yeah, I've been easily one of the most consistent the first 3 races, so I'm confident I'll catch up to him in the end.
Superb. Well, we wish you all the very best with that. I think we have got Chris in the chat as well. That's Aylin as well. But congratulations, Andenge, on that stolen P3 win. Very great. Congratulations on that. We'll move on to
P4. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Chris, welcome to the chat box. It's been a while, my friend. How are you? Yeah, very well, thank you. Very well. Obviously, we all saw it. We felt that you deserved P3 here today. Given the fact that obviously it did look to be a great start from yourself, because obviously qualifying didn't quite go to plan. You were at the back of the grid, but you made such a mesmeric gain right through the track. I think you were in P6, I think, after the first 5 laps. Just talk us through that gain. I mean, obviously, did you make the most out of the safety car and all the incidents at the very start? Was that simply what got you there, or was it a case that you had to really fight tooth and nail?
Yeah, I was in the party. I was in the party with them, and he said that you did a mistake earlier in the race, and from like still coming back from that and getting like a P3 at this point, it's really good from yourself, man.
It was a solid drive from the back of the grid. Great drive from all the guys at the front. Nice and clean, some good overtakes. Good watch.
Yeah, great driving, lads. Solid that.
Yeah. It was great for the stream as well, so congratulations to all the podium sitters. Obviously, we'll allow Andenge and Alien to have a scrap and a fight amongst themselves for that final podium spot. But yeah, it was a great thing for us to see. And obviously, lots to commentate on. But once again, I'd like to thank you guys for inviting me to com this event. Obviously, I haven't done. I've done 2 old school league races, which are really cool to do. But I'd like to thank as well Pillars and DroftahS once again for having me for this stream. I'd like to thank everyone in the live chat as well for putting up with my voice as well today.
No problem, mate. It's been a pleasure. We will see you again in another 6 months.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It's been fun.
Save your date, folks. Save the date in the diary for 6 months. Yeah, great stuff.
It's been a good evening, lads.
It's been a blast.
Cheers
yeah.
to George and cheers to Droft. Been entertaining, boys.
Yeah, I got to say, phenomenal chaps. Leave a like and a subscribe to Late Night Racing as well, folks. Give these guys some props as well. Give some props as well to Pillars and DroftahS for all their hard work in the comms as well. We will catch you guys very soon for yet more racing here on LNR. Thank you. Goodbye.